Yo, what's up? So I hope you're enjoying my presentation so far. I decided to make one of those, video tutorial type things they see all over YouTube, and just to see where I go with it. It ended up being really nice in my opinion, so I just threw it in. I divided it into 5 parts pretty much, which is getting the parts, building the bottle, testing the vacuum pump, testing the transformer, and putting it all together to see what happens. I'll shut up now and take you to the video.
Getting the parts was an adventure. The first thing I got was this vodka bottle to use as the vacuum chamber. I then drilled a hole through the middle so I can put the anode wire. I chose aluminum for this simply because aluminum has a really high sputtering threshold, meaning that it's pretty hard to get the electrons to fly away from the atoms. Next up was the cathode. For the cathode, I drilled a hole through this cabinet knob so I can put a steel brake cord like this. I did that so I can maintain the conductive properties of the cathode while creating a system that connects the vacuum pump to the vacuum chamber. In other words, put this tube to that tube and yeah. So I'm gonna show you what I did. Useless footage, blah blah blah. Okay, perfect. So the next part was powering the whole damn thing. So I used this transformer, which I will be getting in a second because it's heavy. Wait for it. Yup. This is a step-up transformer. It's a neon sign transformer, which pretty much means that it can take 220 volts and turn it into 9,000 volts. 9,000. Yup. Big number. So that wasn't enough, so I had to bring a bunch of diodes. I got 2 types of diodes. I got 2 12 kilovolt diodes, which means that they operate at a peak voltage of 12 kilovolts, and 2 15 kilovolt diodes. I ended up using the 15 kilovolts one because, I fried both 12 volt ones. That was fun, yeah. Let's build it. So I just finished building the bottle. This was my 5th attempt. Yeah, I broke 4 bottles. So pretty much what I did was I epoxied this aluminum wire into this bottle in this circular shape. Now I put too much epoxy because even the smallest hole could allow the glass to break due to the difference in pressure. So as you can see, even if I try to move it, it won't move. So for the cathode, what I did was I epoxied this cabinet knob to the glass, and I epoxied this steel cord to the cabinet knob. This is where I connected the vacuum pump through the tube as well as one side of the transformer. I connected the other side to the transformer to the anode as shown here. Okay, so the next step is to test our vacuum pump. This is a 6 CFM 28 micron dual stage vacuum pump. In other words, it's really strong. So you can do all kinds of things with it, like putting a marshmallow in a vacuum. I'm probably gonna do that. For the time being, let's test it out. Okay, yeah. It definitely works. So before we hook up everything together, let me just briefly explain what this transformer does. So it pretty much gives an output potential difference of about 9,000 volts, meaning that one side, which is the cathode, is going to have 9,000 volts more than the other side, which is the anode. So this is the radon-filled tube. And if you know anything about chemistry, you'd know that radon is a noble gas, meaning that all the electrons in the outer shell are already filled up. So you can't really ionize it because it's already stable. So instead, what you do when you pass a voltage that high through it is you excite all the electrons, and then they start to have more energy than they're used to. So they don't really like this because, as I said before, the universe is a pretty lazy place. So what they do is they have to get rid of all this energy by emitting light. It looks really beautiful, and that's what a neon sign is. Boink. Okay, now let's see what happens when we hook up everything together. I first started by connecting this transformer into this 15 kilovolt diode in parallel, and then I hooked that up into the anode and the cathode. And using our steel brake cord, I connected the vacuum chamber to the vacuum pump. Now let's connect it and see what happens. Okay, that is our electron beam. As you can see, it looks really beautiful. Now pretty much what's happening is you have the electrons going from there all the way to there, and since we have no air molecules because it's a vacuum, the electrons can move freely. Now Where's the light coming from? They're electrons. How do electrons have the ability to produce light? So pretty much what's happening is you have the electrons moving from a place with 9,000 volts to a place with 0 volts. And to do that, they have to lose a lot of energy. Now, most of the energy goes away by them moving. That's called kinetic energy. But the rest of it goes away as light, which is pretty much where this is coming from.